So let's get the stream started, and let's wait a little bit for it to appear on YouTube. So that's going well, and then let me just share the link on the Discord. Let's scroll all the way down. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have posted the link on the Discord as well, and we can get going with our today's little project. My hair is kind of messed up. I've just now realized from that side, but hopefully that's not too big of an issue. We didn't come here for my hair, but to make some voxel art, right? So as you can see, I already made a little bit of progress before the stream, and I think we should get rid of the M here on the chest, because that was originally supposed to be a media man, but it kind of turned out to be a Sandmurai, so see what I did there? It's a mix of sand and samurai. So let's get rid of that, and maybe we can put like an S on his chest as well. So let me figure out which color I want to use as the base, and then let's see, this is kind of wide, so 3 from each side. Will it work like this? It's just kind of narrow, right? I think we can extend it out a little bit, so like this, I think. Maybe can do this as well, so we have a nice little S here. And for the back we'll also have to figure something out, because that's just the initial idea which I have scrapped, so we have to figure out something new to do here. So let me just quickly color over that part, and let me see, we can keep these details here. Then maybe let's use or maybe let's not add the color here, because it might create some more issues later on. But another thing I had in mind, which would, yeah, we would have to, or let me check here. So basically, let me just show you this. One of my reference images. Oh my god, this one is kind of small. So here you can see, oh my god. I horribly misclicked. So basically here you can see him having like a flag on a pole from his hip or back. So I'm trying to figure out whether it would be better to put that on the torso or on the belly. And I think the belly would be the correct one, because this one, it would just go through the head, right? If I made it go straight up from here, that wouldn't be too good. So perhaps we can try to put the flag on the belly. And we would probably have to extend that quite a bit. And then let's move this all the way over to the other side. And then let's move this as well. Unfortunately, I didn't really count how many. So it was at 3, so 12 to 15. So I'm pretty sure that's the correct pivot point. And let's make it slightly taller as well, so perhaps we can make it 32. So that's about the height that we've seen there, right? Let me just... whoa, these are actually quite taller than the person that's wearing them, so yeah, we can extend this even further. So okay, this is what it kind of looks like on some concept arts, but I don't think we are gonna go with that much. So I think 40 should be about right. So let's see what the color of the wood or the stick should be. And let's also terminate the pivot point. And actually in the end it probably won't be brown, because some other color might fit in better with the rest of the color scheme of our robot, but we can use it as a placeholder for now. So let's extend it out this way. Okay, and let's check it out, what it looks like right now. Sure. Looking kind of interesting. And we would probably... okay. I'm just thinking if we should... I guess 2 is fine for the width. We could also go with 1, but then we... I don't know. If we did something like that, it's not perfectly center, but it's not as thick, right? And if we delete this as well, maybe, let's see if it's better if it's not as chunky. So I think this looks much more what I would want it to look like. So let's go back and maybe let's 10. So this is 10. Maybe we can extend it a bit further or not. We'll see. We can still do that if we wanted to later. So let's see how long this flag is right now. So this is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. This is 24. Let's check it out. So I guess we could make this whole flag thingy slightly shorter, just because I mean, it's kind of cool that it sticks out, but it's just sticking out too much. So maybe we can do this as 32. And then let's put the pole in. Then we can extend it further down. And maybe we can do like a little thingy here at the bottom. So let's see, these are 4, and it's gonna be symmetric on, well, should you say symmetric on both sides, or is that implied by the symmetry? Okay, so that's the flag. I think it's better if it doesn't stick out as much, although we could still make it a little bit taller. So let's go ahead and try to do that. And we can do that by moving this upwards. Then we can extend this to maybe 36. And then we just fill this in. And the pole also. Then we just move everything down again. And voila! We have our extended flag. And we can still do some details on that part later. So arms are like 75% done. And let me try to model this side of the legs, and then we can hopefully duplicate them onto the right side. So let's turn on the nice lines. And then I think I wanna do like some leg guards, or whatever those are called, or hip guards. Let's just make the legs a bit thicker. Maybe something like this, or maybe we can extend this even one block further. Like so. Or that might be a bit of an overkill. Let's get... let's make this side slightly thinner. Or we could try to do something like this, so it's at 3.9, so basically we move it to 2.9, right, like so. Let's check this out. And we would have to offset all of these as well, so let's put this back to 3.9, and we can just model it differently if we are not satisfied with the looks. So let's see, can we extend this outwards maybe? Or we can just make it thicker all the way around. I'm not really too sure what I want to do with these legs. So maybe we can go just with something simple like this. And then maybe we can try to make like a little detail like here on the other side as well. So let's see if we move this further here, and Move this to 4.9, like so. And then let's extend it upwards a little bit. Then we can make maybe 4, then, oops, 4 again. And maybe we can do, we can make the thigh slightly taller, if that's not gonna mess the rest of the stuff up. So as you can see here, we're having like a little bit of an overlap. So I guess we can figure out that later as well, but okay. So that's for the thigh. At least I think so. And then for the leg, we can make it perhaps 14. Then turn on the nice lines. Then let's see. If we did like some knee guards, if that's what it's called. Maybe something like this. Okay, so that looks kind of interesting, because we can color, let's see which, okay, which gray we are using there, and we can use the same gray here. So let's color this in. Then let's do this as well. Just so that we have, and I misclicked on the help. So we don't need help, at least not right now. Okay, so there's that, and we can see like a little bit of fighting there. So let's go ahead and extend this whole thing, or maybe we can do it like so, just so you can see a little bit here, but not too much. And if we did, that would probably just mess it up in some walking animations, so okay. That's more or less for the leg. And I'm just thinking if we should add some kind of detail like this on the leg as well. Maybe, let's see. So we would have to extend this further out. Like, huh. Doesn't look too great. And here, and then if we get rid of this and that, let's see what we got. Maybe if it was on the side it would look better. Because when you're looking straight at it you can't really even see it. So let's get rid of this. And it would be much easier if we could do it on the inner side because now we have to do the whole thingy with the pivot points and stuff. So maybe first let's do the detail. So something like this, I guess. Doesn't look too great. It kind of makes it look really thick. So let's move this back to center, or where it kind of should be. So it would be kind of interesting if we put it at front. I think I would prefer it there compared to this. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Okay, and then we can also trim the volumes and then move this to... Wait, I thought it was a 2.9. But this looks way too much to the right. So if we put it at 2.1, that should hopefully be enough. And then for the fit, let's see. So we're basically going with a pretty similar color to the rest of the body, so we don't really need the space in between here. Maybe we can just do something like this, so it's not the most basicest foot in the world, but slightly less basic. And maybe we can do something a little like this, just to be more stable, perhaps, just to make the larger foot. And maybe we can do something like this as well. So let's mirror and let's fill this in, so we have it symmetric on both sides. And if we trim and zoom out, yeah, that should be more or less it, apart from the hands or the fists, which will be edited later once we decide to add the sword. So the head is pretty detailed already, and maybe we can go to the forearm first, just to kind of figure out in what kind of direction we want to move. Wait, why are we using... Let me check the rest of the yellows. Okay, so these are all from this line. I don't know why we used a different yellow here, so let's go ahead and change that all the way around. Oh, come on. Okay. And maybe we can add something like this. And let's see. So this is the base red, and we could either use the lighter red on this side with a darker red here, kind of. Which I don't like too much, to be honest. So let's maybe do something like this. And then maybe we can do some stuff here as well. Okay. So we got that going. And here let's perhaps add this and then maybe some brighter reds at the top. And what we could do here actually is maybe add this yellow, or I don't like this one too much. These two are kind of similar, but yeah, this one fits better. So here as well. So that's quite some stuff for the arm, and maybe we can do like a gray line going through here, and maybe some highlights in the corners, just because. Okay. Or maybe we could actually do something like this. So let's see. Here, 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 and here. And then let's fill this in. And then let's get rid of all this stuff here as well. And now what do we want to do with the newly created space? Maybe we can just put some dark red onto the other side, like so, like so. Okay, so let's check it out. I think that's pretty cool. And we could, let's see, what are we doing here with the red actually? So we aren't using it all the way, although I think it would fit quite well with the rest of the theme. And then for these, they're actually pretty dark. So let's do the same outline here, where the darker is this one, I think. And the brighter is this orange, like so. Okay. So we have our arms done. Well, one arm that we still have to duplicate onto the other side. And what would happen if we did something like this? And also we are mirroring the wrong axis, so let's quickly fix that. Okay, so these two are closer to each other, but it's not really... Oh, these are actually really grayish blues. Yeah, we don't want that really. What about this one? Still not too happy. I think this is just the best color we have to work with. And then let's also not make this end up as quickly as we have, just so it has like some kind of what is it, cheek cheek defense, or I'm not really a samurai nerd. I just kind of know them from, I mean, from the movies and stuff. And maybe it can also oh come on, 3, let's use the color, and then maybe we can make it extend outwards a little bit towards the bottom, just like those helmets they wear. At least I think so. It would look a bit more like that. So let's see. First we need to fill this in. Then let's color the dark red all the way here at the bottom. And now I think this should extend outwards as well. And then maybe we can do something like this, so it kind of looks more like a samurai helmet. Let's extend this outwards as well, and let's put this little dot there. And then maybe we can make it more circular at the back side as well. So something like this. And then let's extend this further down a little bit. And let's not make it as thick as it is, so let's delete just a couple of voxels, like so. And then maybe we can try to make it appear a little bit more round from the back. Something like this, perhaps. So let's check it out. Okay, maybe we can move the head even a little bit upwards, because we have that like that neck extension at the torso, just so it isn't completely covered, but now we have like a little bit of fighting with the flag, so yeah. So I guess we'll have to get rid of this part then, and just end it up here, like so, and like so. And another thing we could do is like add a little bit of transition from this vertical to the horizontal line that's going all the way around the the helmet. So there's that, and then maybe we can add just another little line here, just to give some impression of roundedness, maybe like so. And then we can also turn off the mirroring and just add a couple of bright or dark details, just so the helmet doesn't look too boring or too new. So it has been used before. So So there, maybe one here. And that's more or less it, right? And now I'm just thinking if we should keep these little dark gray dots, or if we should color them in some more appropriate color, or just some shade that we've used somewhere before. So I think it can be pretty bright, and this one is gonna look just kind of greenish compared to the more orangish parts. But maybe we can leave this middle gold. I guess it's gold, right? We can call it golden tone, golden colors. Okay. So we still have a little bit of intersection, but nothing too not as horrible as before, right? So that's the important thing, that stuff is getting fixed and we are getting closer to a completed asset. So here for the torso, let's first color in this S, and then if we use like some orange tones to make it kind of anti-aliased against the rest of the body. And maybe we can add like some shadow to it, like so. And there's not really much else we can do with this front side, right? So what are these showing actually? Why aren't they all connected? Can I do something like this? Nope. What are these actually? Quad edges. Okay, interesting. So let's use just nice lines, because we don't need that. That meaning the quad edges, right? Like so. Then for the side that's gonna be mostly covered by the arm, we can maybe do like a little detail here that's going all the way around. Well, it's not going all the way around, it's just going down, right, and up. Yeah, that's basically all it does. So let's see here. How do we wanna do? That's definitely not the way we wanna do it. So that, and here we could do let's see, we go with this, then brighter, then here as well. Might not be the best idea, right? So let's go ahead and instead try to just do something like this. Okay. Then we can even add like some highlights at the top. And maybe some other stuff. But I'm not really finding the red Let's see what shade this is, but yeah, it's not something that I wanted. So let's go out of this part. And I guess we can try to duplicate the arms. So let's get rid of right arm and duplicate left arm, name it right, R-I-G-H-T arm. Okay, attach it to the node, then let's flip it, and before we crash anything, let's just save, just to be sure. And then we can get rid of the right forearm as well. Right forearm. And then duplicate the left forearm, which is hiding. Where are you? Here it is. Right forearm. Okay. Here. And then flip. Okay. So these two parts, or like the upper body, is kind of finished. Let's just save again. And then we can move to the belly. Let's offset this by a little bit, and then this, just to make sure we don't have too many Z-fightings. And then maybe we can make like a darker red outline at the bottom. No, I don't know. Maybe just some. Well, yeah. First, let's turn off the mirroring. Then we can do maybe some stuff like this, and then another tiny detail here, and another tiny detail there. Yeah. And then for the pole, I think I would like to use some kind of a darker gray. Like so. Maybe one this. Oop. And then let's see if we can write something on this flag. So let's maybe leave two margin at the top, then 4, 4. Maybe we can write sand or something. S. How tall is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, that's a lot. S A. So let's see. We got. This is 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We will probably have to extend this further out. Let me just do some funky stuff. Let's first delete the top, so we have just one margin in between, and then let's see how much room we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1 and 1, so we need like 6 more. So yeah, let's not do that right now, because we need to move it like so, and now we can extend it by 6, I think, to 41. So now we get the blocks, so we put them here, and then we move the whole thing down again. Okay, so for now it's looking the way it should, or the way I intended it to. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the same on this side. So we actually extended for 1 too little, but fret not, because we're just... Oh, come on. We're just gonna fix it by making the N just 6 tall, and then we can make the D here 3, 4, something like this. Sand. Maybe we could make this a little bit shorter. Then we move everything upwards. Like so. So this looks kind of cool, in my opinion. And maybe we can do some anti-aliasing as well, so we use a darker shade of orange, but this looks too messy. We can do maybe just give some kind of a 3D appearance, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so, because it just makes them indistinguishable from one another. So we kind of need to leave it like this, but maybe we can use a bit darker orange for the fill. Okay, we didn't color everything orange, that's good. And then if we did something like this, it just kind of ruins it, right? Or does it? That's the real question. Or maybe we could just do some highlights with it. I think I kind of like that idea. So has them here, here. For this S, I'm still not too sure what I wanna do with it. Maybe it could have them like so. So let's see what it would look like if we made the details from only one side. So here, maybe like so. Then here as well. Let's make them slightly extended. Then maybe this. That looks kind of interesting, doesn't it? Then maybe we can do like some darker shades on the bottom, and let's just... yeah, that's not gonna work. So this, then something like this as well, I don't know. And also let's not keep everything at 2 because it just doesn't look natural. Oh hi, Abar. I'm doing quite fine actually. Today we started a bit earlier, so we might also end up a bit sooner, but doing fine overall. So we're doing a Sandmurai, which would hopefully soon be available on the marketplace. And how are you doing? So maybe we can just add some details to the flagpole, just so it isn't one large grey chunk sticking out his... well, it's not really butt, but awesome to hear that. So it kind of ends up here, and we can also do like a little outline here at the bottom with a darker shade of red, and also maybe here. Yeah, it's kind of a pun. So okay, that's what it currently looks like if you joined a bit later. So he has like this crown, and we're still finishing up his legs, so we're currently at the belly. That's the new part, and now we can move down to hips. And I'm not really sure if we have something more to add here. Perhaps just like a little dark red dot here and there. Actually, let's put this one here. So just trying to make it kind of balance. And maybe another dark spot here under the belt buckle. So that's for this part. Let's also save. It never hurts to save, because Vox said it has crashed before. We have lost some progress before, so perhaps we can learn from past mistakes and try not to repeat them again. Let's put the darker shades here, and then some highlights here. And let's see, what do we want to do with this thigh? They're usually like tiered, or it's made like from multiple layers. So if we try to do something like this, like so, then it would go down from there. Let's turn off the the rig ghost, because you can see easier what you're doing without it, and we can just finish it up here. And then let's delete this. Yeah, that's the that's the plan. I'm trying to basically finish up his whole body, and then we'll move to the hands. And I'm not sure yet if I just wanna make like one one large katana for his attacking arm, because you have like these animations. Let me just thrust attack. Let's see. Yeah, he's using one arm to attack. So this one is definitely gonna have a sword, and now I'm not too sure for the second one if I wanna make like the smaller sword, which of course I don't know what it's called, but it could have like one katana or katana and a short sword. I'm still deciding on that, so perhaps you can let me know what you think about that. So we now have to find the idle animation, which we have lost. Idle 1. Okay. So let's move back to the thigh. So basically there's that. And let's fill this in so it stays with the rest of the leg. It kind of has the same pattern, and then can we do something else with the thigh? I'm not too sure. Well, let's also that's a great idea. Do you think it should be red, orange, or maybe like blue, like his visor? Because there's like a lot of red going on already. So maybe we can make it yellow or orangish, or maybe we can make it like a laser sword, more like it with this blue that we used for the eyes. And of course, thanks for your opinion. I appreciate it. Cool, blue it is. So yeah, let's kind of move to the second part of the legs. And did we color that in? Yeah, we did. Or yeah, I think it's the bright red here. So let's keep on going here on the details. Some brighter red and some darker red on the bottom. And this was actually supposed to be like a knee guard or something like that. So we'll see how that turned out. And why do we have this part here? That's probably still left from the original leg, so let's maybe get rid of that, and maybe we can just finish it up like this. Let's check it out. So it does look kind of skinny because it has like this bulky part at front and nothing at the back, so I'm just gonna add like a bit of volume, but we're gonna leave this line here, definitely. So maybe we can just make it balance out, or maybe one longer. Guess that can be fine. And then let's make this part darker as well. And maybe we can do like a little detail with some orange. And let's also mirror it onto the other side, because why do it twice if you can do it once? And it just goes like backwards. Then wait. Okay. So there's the brighter detail, and then maybe some darker. Maybe we can do something like this. So it kind of transitions from this brighter orange to darker orange. And it shouldn't be interfering with our foot, which is good. And it kind of rhymes as well. And maybe we can add like a little detail here. And maybe behind this as well, why not? So the darker now in the middle, and then we can also do something here. Oh my god. And put the brighter details on both sides. Okay. So now that we have quite some details here, this part looks kind of underwhelming. So let's try to figure out where we can put some more orange, or yeah, it's orange. And how? That's also a good question. If we did just... yeah. First, let's turn off the mirroring. Okay. So we don't really have too much space, right? We could... yeah, that's gonna cause some issues. We could do something like this and then maybe make it a bit darker. And we can mirror this onto the other side. So we have the same thing at the back side, and then do something similar on the inner side. So this and that. That's mostly it for the details here, because we really need to be careful here because it intersects and it can mess up some stuff. So that and that, these are done, and then let's go to the foot and maybe do some stuff here as well. We just kind of modeled it beforehand, so let's see. Oh, need to use the right tool. And then I like to add like these lines so it doesn't appear as flat but more rugged, or something like that. So there's that, and then maybe we can make this part slightly brighter, just so it doesn't appear as thick. And let's do the same thing for this side, this here, then maybe here as well. And maybe we can add just a tiny detail with the oranges. Where should we add that? Here probably. Then the darker shade as well. Okay, and now we can go ahead and duplicate this. So I think we can get rid of the chest B, because that's probably meant for female characters, and then we can get rid of the head B because we don't need it. And then let's get rid of the right leg, right thigh, and right foot. So we can duplicate our left thigh. So now it's gonna be called right thigh. There's that. And let's just drag and drop it. and we'll have to flip them all over the x-axis, which we'll do in a moment. First let me find the left leg and duplicate it into the right leg, and then also the foot, right foot, and attach that as well. And I'm pretty sure the foot doesn't really need flipping because it's at the middle, but let's just do it because it's a good practice. And then flip this one, and then flip this part as well. Okay. And we might have some issues here. As you can see, these two are overlapping, so I'm just gonna kind of get rid of it and maybe add one. Oh, we still have our mirroring turned on. Maybe we can we can put one here, and that's gonna be it for the butt. And now for the arms, let's also save first, just because. And then for the arms, we actually have an arm with a sword as a part of the template. So that kind of gives us a rough idea of the weapon size and everything, and we can maybe even make the blade a little longer, because I know the samurai had like really long swords. At least when I was looking for reference images for this creation, I found like a lot of really long swords. And also they have a long handle, so let's not forget about that. So maybe we can move it like, we can leave 2 voxels here for the handle, and then the rest is gonna be the blade. And let me just check some images. How sloped their swords are. Are they like more straight, or more like a scimitar shaped like a moon? So let me just Google this. Yeah, basically katana. Let me just open it in a new tab so I can maybe show here as well what I'm looking at. So something like this. Oh, Dota 2. I'm not really playing anymore because all my friends stopped playing. I still play Underlords though, even though I'm not sure when the season 2 is coming or if they're still developing that game. But I think they're making a Netflix anime? Something like that? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I love Dota, but I don't have anyone to play it with, so unfortunately I'm no longer playing it. Wait a sec. So we're going... So let's see. I think we can make some more. Let me just figure this out. So this is just an extended sword. Do you know if they're... So if it's on Netflix, they probably have released all the episodes, right? The Witcher was also on Netflix, and I think the whole season was released, so if that's the case for this show, I definitely have to check it out. Hopefully the animation is good. I have only seen the trailer. That might actually get me back to play some games. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out how we wanna approach the slope of the sword, and of course we still have to paint it blue. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, we also need to adjust the pivot point, right? Completely forgot about that. So by 6 I think 39 would be the appropriate. And then here, let me see, so it's 48. So 14 is the handle with the like the protection and stuff. So we have like 34 for the blade. Let me just do some quick calculations. 34, and then maybe if we use just a bit over half for thickness, that should be about 16. Okay. Like so. Then maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. 9, 10, 11, 12, like so. And then maybe can do something like this, but maybe if we did a little bit on this side. Yeah, I completely agree. I tried to climb like once, and I probably stopped playing ranked before I finished like the placement games, or how exactly that works. I preferred to play turbo and like those events. I think the Dire Tide was the last one I played, and then I just kind of stopped because yeah, I also didn't enjoy rank too much. But now let's try to figure out how we wanna make this katana. Or we can not go for so much slopey slope and just make it like a monster sword. Like so. Maybe going by 2. Okay, so I think this is kind of the correct size. Now we just need to make it fit better with the rest of the character. So let's get rid of this. And then we can extend this further out. Like so. And let's also color in this part, which is kind of bugging me. Oops. Did we color something unintentionally? I don't think so. So that's a good sign. And I mean, katanas didn't have like really big... let's see. You can leave it like this. or I think it would look a little bit better if we left it like so. Yeah, it also gave like those free rewards, and I haven't seen a gamer who doesn't love free rewards, so it was kind of great. So we can either go full sci-fi for this blade, or we can keep it like more like realistic, or maybe like a wooden handle. But have you ever seen a lightsaber with a wooden handle? Probably in some kind of weird Star Wars spin-off, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff there, so maybe we can go with this, like more gray brown, I guess. And then let's just here add the texture like so. Yeah, I completely agree. Also, ranked games have like this nasty tendency that they can last over an hour, which can be a problem for some people if they have some other stuff to attend to. From that aspect, I kind of preferred League of Legends because the games would very rarely go over 45 minutes, and also basically everybody I knew was playing that stupid game, so I had to adapt. And I also played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, but yeah, that's no longer really in esports or anything. So this guard can actually be like an orange from the details. Because I think it also fits well with the blue, because it is its complementary color. Oh my gosh, that's a horrible tongue twister, but we managed. So let's see what it looks like now. I think that looks pretty cool. We still have some more stuff to do with the sword, but for now, pretty solid if you ask me. I'm quite satisfied with how this is going. Thank you. Thank you. I also made another asset with like the same wheels, but it can be a pain in the ass to add stuff once you have the animations. So that the artillery tank was kind of the first asset, and then I tried to like make a little bit of a spin-off because it has like a lot of driving animations, so it would be a shame for it to go to waste. And I completely agree, I love the firing animation as well. It has like this nice when it jumps, it kind of like moves slowly forward. And I'm kind of new to this whole thing of 3D art and animating, so I'm really happy if people like my stuff. Maybe we can add like a little line here. I'm just not sure what kind of texture I wanna go with it, so let's see, maybe 3. I don't know, something like this perhaps. And then let's see. Oh, this one is the middle one. So maybe we can do some darker shades going from there. And I'm just wondering if we turn these to emissive and this as well. So we kind of can we distinguish these two between themselves? Kind of, but not really. But the blade does look much cooler when it's glowing. So maybe we can try to export this, and maybe we can try to use it in the... or not. Well, we can try, but I'm kind of skeptical we'll be able, because my main account that I use for uploading is kind of bugged, so we can try, and we'll see how far we get. Let me just put some placeholder text. Okay, so now it should be at the marketplace, which is good. Wheel, like in VoxEdit. There are some you have like two ways of approaching to make like circular objects in pixelated world. So you can either try to make it like, let me show you. You can just Google pixel art wheel, and you can basically copy that. So just something like this. Or you can try to use the animator to basically rotate the stuff, and I guess if you wanna see something cool and you haven't been on my last stream, I can perhaps show you the coffee shop if it doesn't crash completely. It should be finished now. Let's just wait for a moment for it to load. Okay, so here we go. This is probably like the largest thing I've done. So we have to... well, it's kind of a request that we make like modern looking stuff this month, and basically this is what I went with. It took me almost a week to complete it, so there are 2 streams available of me doing it if you want to check that out. It's a little bit boring because it's a lot of interior design, but I really like this asset. So I just kind of wanted to show it, and now it's lagging again. Okay, we managed to get out. Okay, so let's try if we can... oh, I have to double click on the correct program to start, of course, but let's try to run the Sandbox maker and see if we can import the thingy inside, because I had some issues with my account, and we'll see if they are resolved or not. So I basically had to make a second account just so I could access it before, but I don't know when they are fixing that. Login. And you'll see soon what I'm talking about when I try to create a new experience once everything loads up. And if not, we can still try to play around a bit. So let's try to create new my new experience. Yeah, that's spelled about right. Oh, that works! Awesome! So, yeah, before it would just kind of crash. I mean, it wouldn't crash, but it would give me like this weird pop-up, like some object reference isn't set or whatnot. So, okay, here's our Sandmurai. And we should be able to place him down. Okay, here he is. Maybe we can also... Oh, that's under the global parameters. Maybe we can set him as the avatar. So, custom avatar, so we can move around as him as well. So, where are you? Okay, and maybe we can name ourselves as well. just because. And you know what? Maybe we can make this guy a bit threatening. Maybe we can have like a little samurai fight. So let's see what I have to add. I'm not as used to Game Maker as I am to Vox Edit, so we need to set the behavior to melee enemy. Okay, and then we can leave health at 50, and I think that's more or less it actually. So let's. Oh no, he's chasing me. Oh, and yeah, you can see here a little glitch with the avatar because he's still holding the original sword. And we can't... so the swords are kind of one over the other, but you can see the enemy chasing me has the correct sword, so I'ma fight you. Now let's run. Hit him a bit more, then run again. Okay, so this looks kind of cool, and we still have one hand to color. So let's just finish this guy off quickly. Okay, and once we're done with that, we can maybe try to play around a little bit with the Game Maker as well. Let's first save this. Or you know what? Actually, we can check the coffee shop here as well. I haven't done that actually, so. Oh, I haven't also uploaded it. So let's. Okay, so what are we gonna do first? Let's first finish up our avatar, and let's try what happens if we put like another shade darker, make this emissive, and here now you can kind of easily tell apart which part is the blade and which isn't. And we can also make the blade slightly darker so it doesn't stand out as much, and maybe this looks a little bit more like what I wanted, at least I think so. And also let's get rid of this voxel just because I think it looks better like this. That's the whole reason. Okay, and then maybe we can do like a little orange detail on the back side of the hand. So, punk, and that's it. And let's trim the volumes if we haven't before. And now let's move on to the other arm. Let's just trim it because we don't really need to do other stuff with it. Then for the fingers we use one shade brighter, and for this I think we wanna use one shade darker. And if we turn on our rig ghost, we can add the tiny detail we added on the other side, or on the other hand here as well. Let's see. Or maybe we can make the like a square that's made out of two lines. So it's kind of similar to what I did here. But yeah, no, it's not reversed. Okay. And let's do the same thing for the other hand. So this is the brighter orange and then the darker orange, like so. And yeah, that's more or less for the Sandmurai. Maybe now that I'm looking at it, it has like a lot of stuff at the front and whatnot, and once you turn it around, maybe we can add like a dot or two to the back side of the leg. So maybe here and here, and then just do the same thing for the other leg, because I don't really see a point in duplicating it if we made just these minor changes. Like so. So yeah, that's more or less for this asset, and it still took us like 90 minutes, even though it was like it was a little bit done, or at least I had a general idea what I wanna go with. So let me just replace the old asset so we can have the newest Sandmurai version in the game maker, like so. So we can close that, and a couple more tabs with with reference art. So we can now close this. Let's also export the coffee shop, and then we can like try to make a little wheel just for the sake of doing it. So this should be the front. So we can use this in the game maker as well. And yeah, now we have to wait for it to export the stuff. Did we click the button? Yeah, we did. It just takes so long with... and also it would be interesting to know how many nodes this asset has, because... okay, so let's move to the dashboard. So, coffee shop. Let's just give it a name, and the rest can be added later. Okay. So we have uploaded the coffee shop, and maybe we can try to make like a little wheel quickly, so Ali can get a reference or two how I like to do it, and then you can decide for yourself which strategy fits you best. So create new asset, go under projects, maybe name it wheel, and then let's new VXM wheel 0. So I guess we can just work with this default palette, which I'm still not sure why they aren't using the extended palette, but whatever. So first thing that you can do when you try to make a wheel, you can downscale with this button here, reduce volume resolution, so it's kind of easier to work with, and we also know that the wheel should be symmetric over all axes, so we can do something like this, and that's kind of round, right? And then let's just make it one tall, because yeah, you can just make it taller if you wanted to, and then you can slowly increase the amount of voxels that you have, and then you can try to maybe make it more nicely rounded. So here you would probably add something like this, so it still looks kind of circular. Whoops. And maybe you could also do even something like this. So when you're making like nice circular shapes, you kind of want to go from more voxels. Here you have like 2 to 1 and then back to 2. So that kind of guarantees like a nice curvature. And now if we double the size again, so we're back at 32 by 32. We can do something similar again, so maybe like this, but now you have to be careful because of the faces. So let me just go out. If you have too many faces, probably some users might complain, or even your asset might not be approved because that puts a strain on the user's computers, and if your asset has too many faces, it's just gonna either their whole room is gonna turn into like 100 degrees, which is still, well, it's not as hot in Fahrenheit, so I'm not really sure if you're using Celsius or Fahrenheit, but I'm talking in Celsius, just to be sure. Yeah, either their computer is gonna melt or just the experience isn't gonna load. So let's name this wheel 0. So here you can see we have 0 faces once we add the wheel. We have 60 faces, okay. And as you might have guessed, the blocky objects don't really have much faces, but round objects, they have a ton of faces. So and usually something like this would be considered pretty good, or you could even do like some anti-aliasing. I'm just using like the colors I have, like one shade brighter here and here maybe, and that would also it would create kind of the same effect without creating more faces, because now if we delete these parts that we have highlighted and go out, now we have 130 faces, and that's more than double than what we had before, and it really doesn't look much better. I mean, I could fine-tune it if I wanted to, but you get the basic idea. So that's the first way you can do it. Another one is to basically make a rig. So let's not create a child node, let's just duplicate it. Wheel 1. So let's move it outwards a little bit, and then let's delete this whole thing and make it Here you kind of have to figure out what your dimensions are gonna be, and maybe we can go with 8 and 2. So this is gonna be the wheel outline, and let's use orange instead of pink maybe. I mean, who really cares? But here what you wanna do is move the pivot point basically like so. So you'll soon see what we are trying to do. So let's detach the or unlink the child node or the VXM, and then let's just create like a bunch of nodes. And you can even make this process faster by doing 2 sides. So if we put these to 32 and then mirror, so like so. Okay, and now this is at the middle, so this is gonna be even faster. So now you basically can duplicate this, name it something unique, and then just rotate like so maybe. You can always go into more details, or maybe do something for them to not have like these edges, but at the end you were gonna end up with the pretty round shape. So a pro of this strategy is that you usually use a lot less faces than this, but the con is that you create like a lot of nodes, which also isn't like too great, but yeah, you have to compromise somewhere. So when I try to do like really nice wheels, I usually do them like this, or another thingy that I'm gonna show after this. So one circle, second circle, and then so this one is kind of good if you know what the diameter or the radius is, and you don't really care too much about like these teeth or the imperfections. And also you kind of know where the middle is, especially here where I have nested all the nodes to the previous one. But the third one is, let's name this wheel 2, and we're just gonna get rid of this part. And here you basically want to put the pivot point at one of the edges. So it doesn't really matter how far up here it is, so we'll just leave it at 0. And let's create a child node, wheel 2. And here where are you, wheel 2? Let's move you. Wait, what? Oh, I grabbed wheel 1. Wheel 2. And here you kind of have a trade-off between it's gonna look pretty nice, or it's not gonna have these teeth, but you don't really know where its center is. So let's attach this here, and then we move it out the full length, which is 8 in our case. And then you have to be kind of careful that you have a pivot point on the outer side, so when you make it slope inwards, you have like a nice hinge on the outside. Otherwise, if you have it on the inside, let me just show you that quickly as well. If we align it now with this, and it's on the inner side, we're gonna make the teeth. So that's usually not what you want, but in some cases you might, so that's also an option. And now here the cool thing is that you can duplicate this node, and because it's sloped relative to its parent, once you duplicate it you can just add it here, and it kind of completes itself. And I think we used a different angle here, but it's kind of similar. Or even we can do like 30 maybe. And here, once they've fixed the duplicate name, you can now duplicate this parent node, which is the first one that is sloped. So duplicate, name it W22, and then you can just attach it and the circle grows. And now you can duplicate it again. We need to name it something unique, like so. Attach, and we're almost done. So let's just finish up this circle, and we can move on to the game maker for a little bit. So how many more do we need? One, probably 3, so we can count from here. Duplicate this one, because we're gonna keep it and the 2 child nodes, so we name this W24. And you can see these that we have duplicated multiple times have like a bunch of ones in parentheses, but whatever. So here is the last circle. No problem. I'm glad I could help. It took me quite some trials and errors, and also what you can see here is that this circle is now a little bit smaller than the other one, because it doesn't have these gaps in between. So hopefully one day I can see some of your creations on the marketplace. So let's save this, and if you ever forget, you can always check this VOD for another explanation, I guess. So now we can try to check out the coffee shop in the game maker as well, and probably will end in like 15 minutes, because we did a lot of good work for today, and I need to go to the bathroom break soon. So here's our Sandmurai. Maybe we can make it like a citizen or something, just so he doesn't attack us. Or maybe he's protecting the coffee shop. Okay, here's the coffee shop. Oh my god. That's bigger than expected. Okay. Let's grab it. Let's rotate it. Oops. Okay, like so. And maybe we can check it out now. Okay, once the robot loads up. Okay, and another good thing is that we didn't add the... Oh, this asset has no animation, so you can actually walk over it, but oh yeah, we managed to land on the flower. And you... Wait, what happened there? So can you kind of land on... What happened there? Let me try once more if I can replicate that, but... interesting. It kind of felt like I could maybe step on the top part of this sofa or something. And also, okay, I see that now there's a mini-map, but let's see, can we add like an objective or something? So let's add a car there. No. Yeah, we need to go to the rules. Maybe quests, add a quest, find a car, unlock quest, auto unlock, sure. Let's wait for the asset death, then we're watching the blue car. So there's that, and now let's check out what we can add on this car. So it's a basic platform. I have no idea why the... Oh, so it can move, right? But we don't really want that. So let's not offset. Let's go to edit logic and let's see if we can message broadcaster. So I don't think we're gonna find what we're looking for here. Maybe if we add a component, pickable, play sound, rarity, maybe indicator. So let's see what the indicator is. Display error. Oh. We can just try the game and... Okay, so we have found the car, but I'm just not too sure what we are supposed to see on the minimap. And we can't really kill it. So maybe we can try to make this like a little game. I mean, once you find the car, it should like... So if we get rid of this, does it still have a name? Okay, it doesn't have a name, so there's that. And then let's see if we can add component that is called... Speaker, defeat collector. No, we need to change behavior to message broadcast, I think. And then message to send trigger. Sure, but I want it to trigger once we come, once we get nearby. So broadcast type all. Can we make it like citizen? I just want to broadcast a message. How hard can that be? Or actually, let's check out the rules. So we are waiting for the asset death. But if we could broadcast a message, we could also be waiting for a message. And then let's wait for the victory message. Then we can send a message, you've found a car, or the car, I guess. We're asking for this specific car. Whoops. Oh, let's... Sure. So that's what we needed. And now we just need to figure out how we can broadcast a message from here. Following your conditions. So I'm Message to send. We want to send you found the car. Broadcast type. Oh, specific tags in range, right? Then, but that broadcasts to those tags, right? It doesn't like get triggered when somebody enters the range. At least I think so. So maybe we can. Okay, we can leave this as it is, and then let's add some doors so we can see who's actually receiving the trigger, or whether it's sending it to this asset or something else perhaps. So we don't want it to open when we interact with it, and we want it to trigger on you found the car. So let's see what happens now. So the car should now be triggering the doors every 5 seconds. Is it? Wait, what's going on? So this is, they're now closed, but it's like it's like a really weird position. And maybe we can also change our avatar to something that doesn't hold the sword, so doesn't look weird. So it's still closed. What the heck is going on? Let's change these to... What do we want to use? Maybe we can use the cyborg. Sure. Then let's name it ourselves. So, and then let's see what's going on here. So this should send you found the car, and then let's make delay 1, broadcast only once, and then wait. Oh, okay. So now this might be interesting. Wait before broadcast, message required, interact. So let's not wait first. We can try to figure out what that all means. But okay, now they should be opened or not. So something is glitched with the display of the door. What are we doing here? So let's use some different doors, like this. Then let's use the car. That should be a message broadcaster that's sending you found the car to all the assets in range every second. It takes between, yeah, and then this should be waiting for you found the car, right? Let's see. They should kind of be opening and closing them. Wait, okay, they're now open. Are they open? No, they're not. So that's interesting. Why? What's going on with this? So maybe let's get rid of the car with the animation, and maybe we can use something else as the trigger. Maybe the stone pillar, and then maybe just some random assets. So let's see if this is the broadcaster and these are the doors. Now let's add the broadcast behavior to this. Message to send can be trigger, sure. And then let's put like 2-second delay. Maybe we used wait before. Broadcast type all. Everyone in range, specific tags in range, selected after. So I guess all. Sure. See? Okay, this now works. Open, close, open, close. Okay. There might have been a problem with the car or something. But now I think we can also do something like this. So let's wait before broadcasting, and we require a message. Sure, interact. So there's that. So now it shouldn't be. Wait. We probably have a glitch here. Yep. But it's not broadcasting, so that's good. And then we can try to find like a lever, like an ancient lever. Oops. Still need to place it somewhere, like so. And then let's... Oh, that's a lot of range. Sure, I think you should be allowed to... Well, what kind of link are you posting actually? Well, you can try to post it, and I'll see what we can do, but I'm not really super stoked about clicking some weird links. Maybe if you have the file on Google Drive or something, I can check it out, maybe. Or if you probably have a Discord, right? You can... I don't know what the best way would be. I know for sure you can send files through Discord, so... perhaps you can send me a friend request there? I don't know. Whichever suits you best. So let's see, message to send trigger, and this is waiting for what? For interact. So we need to send message interact for 1 second. That might be interesting as well. Cool. You should probably see me if you're on the Sandbox server, or I mean, just send me a friend request and yeah. Okay. So if you want, I can try to open it here, or I can send you the commentary over text on Discord. Depends on what you'd prefer. Okay, so what the heck is this link? Can you zip the file and send it like this? I would... I don't really want to click on something that might... So you can right click and then... I mean, if you have some troubles, I can show you how to do it. It's just easier for me to extract the file and open it than clicking on some links. Uh, so this sends interact, right? And this sends trigger. Let's see. Okay, now they should yeah, we're kind of messing the whole thing up because we're waiting for trigger here as well. So let's save this. Yeah, it's kind of blocked. It's not really working for me, I'm sorry. You can just do... Let me show you. You can right click and then compress it into archive if you have 7-zip or something like that, and then you can just send me the file directly. So basically 7-zip and then add to zip, and then you just drag and drop it on Discord. I have no idea why Brave is blocking your website and whatnot. Okay, so let's check everything again. So this is sending trigger and it's waiting for interact. This one is... oh, this one requires trigger, and this one should be sending interact, right? Message to send interact, okay. The doors are now closed, we can't move through them. And now if we use the lever, they open, and they don't close for some reason. And if we use the lever again, they close. What is going on? Let's see, edit logic. So this shouldn't really matter. Message to send, let's say send lever. Okay, let's stop jerking around with the basic stuff. So message required is gonna be lever. Then message to send is gonna be trigger. Or let's just name everything open door. Add open door. Okay, and then this one should be waiting for open door, like so. And let's just save for just in case. Okay, let's see if I can download it now. So just a second. Let me extract that. Okay. And then... okay, let me just try this and then we can check out your asset. So this should be closed. And then if you use the lever... okay, so lever is kind of... I think lever is manipulating it through the broadcaster. but I don't know why the broadcaster isn't. So it works kind of like a repeater actually. It doesn't. Let me just check that. Delay between. It should keep on broadcasting. I don't know why it doesn't, but at least with my understanding. But apparently it's not, so no biggie. And let's just close this. Wait, quit game. I don't want to delete my experience that I've made. Okay, so we're in Vox Edit. Now we can open file. Let's go to downloads. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. It's loading up. Okay. So it's basically... Whoa. It's also weird that the controls are a bit different in the game maker compared to Vox Edit, and so yeah, I'm still getting adjusted a little bit. So we've managed to open the file. It looks like that thingy from the like carnival games where you try to, yeah, it even has the time and score. It actually looks really nice. And these are like basketballs here. So let's see what the animation is. Oh, so the hoop is kind of moving. And then you have some lights here. And so one thing, let's see. So I think one thing you should keep in mind is that this... Oh, and there's another animation. Let's check this one out. Oh, that's actually really cool that the ball kind of shoots into it. It's a lovely asset. So smooth animations. I don't know how much experience you have with keyframes and stuff like that. So basically, as far as I can see, you're mostly using or only using linear animations. So I don't know if you knew that you can right click and then you have like different options about the animation, and so here it would be kind of useful. Oh, and I just saw that my camera is covering them up, so let me open them here. So you can use like different speeds or accelerations, but you kind of you kind of have to have like a bit of a feeling for it, or it also helps if you know a bit of physics. So maybe if we go here, once you throw it, maybe once it starts falling down, you can maybe add like a quad in, so it kind of accelerates downwards. Or if you're making like a clock that's like that weight that's moving from left to right, it's kind of it moves the fastest in the middle point, and then it kind of slowly decelerates, and then it accelerates again. So maybe I can open an asset that I have animated on the stream, and maybe you can see a little bit. But I think that for a starting asset, this is it actually looks really decent, and I wish I made them. I made assets like this when I started out. You can still check out like my first published assets, which are like Winter Child, Winter Adult, and like a Winter Bush, and they aren't really anything special. And what I like is that you also went like with this color scheme of blue, orange, and a bit of red and white. So another thing that would be pretty cool would be if you, so here's your, yeah, it takes some time. I mean, it took me a couple of months of working for the Creator Fund before I actually started to feel like I know what I'm doing. So another cool thing is that you could perhaps extend this keyframe further out, so it actually moves with the ball, and once the ball falls, it kind of catches it. So basically you could move it like so. Let's see how that would look. And then maybe when you do the bounce, so let's see, let's select the ball. Okay, and here, so another thing is that you kind of want to use as little keyframes as possible. So let me just, so here it kind of moves in a linear way from when it falls from the hoop, like from here to here. Maybe if we deleted like these two, it still kind of feels the same way, but now we can maybe add like a quad in, so it doesn't fall linearly, but it kind of accelerates towards the end. And once it bounces off, it's like the fastest at the bottom, and then it slowly decelerates. So we could use quad out, and that gives like a little, like that little bit, like a pinch of salt to the animation. It's kind of hard to perceive it, but I mean, once you know it's there, it kind of helps a bit. And then for the rest, I don't know if we really want to do much new stuff, or if we want to like redo the whole animation, but I think just these two little things would improve it. Or maybe we can do another bounce. So here it falls down. We want another quad in, and as it bounces off, we want quad out. And then I've seen here as well, so this is kind of fine, but once it starts to decelerate, you would kind of wanna maybe just... And another thing you need to be careful with keyframes is that if I wanted to do it from here to here with the quad out, maybe like it's slowing down, you can't really do it like changing everyone, because it's gonna slow down until here, and then it's gonna speed up and slowly slow down here, and then speed up and slowly slow down here. So you can see it's moving like a bad animation. It's like jumping too much. It's not linear anymore, but it's kind of moving fast and slow and fast and slow and fast. So you gotta be careful with that. So maybe if we deleted this, let's see. Okay, so we have another keyframe in the middle because it needs to hit the it needs to bounce from the hoop, but you can also nicely see here, if I do it, it kind of really slows down at this point, and then it falls down again. So perhaps the quad out wouldn't be the best option, but just keeping it linear for this long, it makes your flow much faster because you don't have to edit every keyframe, or you basically just need to edit this point and edit this point, and everything in between the Vox edit is gonna do for you. So unless you're doing some fast rotations or something like that, I would recommend using as little keyframes as possible. And another thing that I have noticed is that you have player and score at your final keyframe, and they aren't here. So that's like another little thingy that could also be improved, because if this was a continuous animation, unless you want it to like blink for a second, it's gonna appear a bit weird. Uh, yeah, okay, I can see that you have like them slowly appear at the start. So maybe you could maybe you could name this animation like start, or maybe I mean, you can make like one animation that starts here, and it just moves the hoop around, and then you have like another animation that's throw, and that would be actually the ball that's being thrown into the ring. Perhaps something like this. Hopefully that's helpful. So do we want to save changes? I don't know. So let's see. If we go to Vox, edit, projects, let's see if I animated any of these. Or I mean, there are a couple animated, so maybe we can use clock cabinet as one example, because I rarely used okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, so this is idle, and then clock. We have like these two parts that are moving up and down, and this is just so okay. So we have one restraint that we need this longer index to rotate the whole way around, so we'll have multiple swings of this bottom part. So if you if you kind of paid attention during the physics lectures, you would perhaps remember that this weight is moving fastest in its it's moving fastest in its lowest point. So we are using the quad in out. So it kind of starts slowly, and then it speeds up, and then it also finishes slowly. And then for swinging into another direction, we basically use the same speed. We just start from the left and then we move to the right. And these two weights are moving linearly, I think. Yeah, they're just having a linear animation up and down, and as you can see, the I wanted to point like with my finger, like check out the clock. And if you check this out, it's also rotating linearly. And another thing, if you wanna make rotations, you can't put like 0 degrees and 0 degrees and then go here and then long way. That's not gonna work. You're gonna have to put it in the middle, like at 180. So this should be whatever. And then one is gonna be usually a long way rotation and the other one is not. So if I check this, if I uncheck this actually, so none of them is the long way rotation, you're gonna see soon what happens. So it moves to one point, and then it moves backwards actually. So another little thing you should be careful when animating stuff like this. So let's just fix that so we don't have a broken clock. Okay, so that's one thing. Perhaps I could show let's see. Okay, also we have an artillery tank here. Maybe we can check the firing animation as well once it loads. Okay, here it is. So basically most of the wheels have or actually we made a bit different animation here because we have axles that have wheels as parents, and as you can see here we use the similar technique I've shown before, where these are just like segments put together around the middle part. So let me just undo that. And let's check the fire. You can see like there's quite some stuff going on. You have like these little thingies that turn on, so maybe we can go here and you can see like these transitions, because you can use linear transition into keyframes one after the other, and it appears instant. Like in this frame it's off and here it's on. And I kind of prefer using that to instant transition here, because I have just seen like inconsistent results with this instant, and the rest is kind of two keyframes one after another, it's always gonna work. At least I hope so, because otherwise I don't know what I would do. So here are our lights turning on, and then as you can see, this sequence of stairs, of keyframe stairs, it's basically them turning off. So let's just focus on this part. So they're slowly turning off, and in the meantime also the cannon base and the rest of the stuff is moving. So if we focus now on this part, it slowly moves forward. So this is the linear move forward, and then once it kicks, it's like it starts fast and then it slowly slows down, and then another linear move like a kickback that moves forward a little bit. So yeah, it can be really tough when you start. It also took me a lot of time to start animating, and I still hate like making custom animations for templates and stuff, but once you get a bit of feeling and you kind of program your brain to start thinking in like keyframes and stuff like that. It might sound scary, but it gets easier over time. So I really hope today's stream was helpful, and I guess we see each other maybe on Monday, maybe next week. So I hope you have a nice rest of the day or the night, depends on what time it's at your place. So bye bye.